What's up, guys, and welcome to my 2 cents, a show all about everything fragrance. I know there's a ton of fragrance reviewers and you're probably like, whoopity-doo, another guy's opinion. Well, I don't care. I wanted to do this show for a long time. I came up with a name a long time ago, but I just never pulled the trigger yet again, because I do have another show called Mentality, which is all about boosting your mentality and becoming the best you can be. And I try to add fragrances into that, but it just didn't really work. So, what did I do? I started another channel. So, I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of who I am, because I don't know you, and obviously you don't know me, and why I'm doing this show. Well, I fell in love with fragrances a very long time ago. Honestly, decades ago. It all started when I was 5 years old. And don't worry, this is going to be a quick story. I'm not going to tell you everything about my life. Well, at least today. At least I hope. Because I do end up just going on and on and on and on and on. But this is why and how I fell in love with fragrances. It started out when I was 5 years old. I remember my dad would shave, splash on his aftershave, and I wanted to be just like my dad. And I smelt this glorious fragrance coming from his bathroom, and that happened to be Royal Copenhagen. Nowadays, it's not that great. But back then, it's really made me fall in love with fragrances and scents and how they can create memories. So, moving on further into my life, I remember when I was probably in elementary school, somewhere around there, my mom got me Aqua de Joe. Now, see, I was a fat kid with a chili bowl cut, and I got made fun of a lot. I had no confidence. Zero. Zilch. In fact, if you could be negative in confidence, that was me. So, I did know that I loved fragrances, and my mom tried to help me in any way, shape, or form. She thought a chili bowl was a good idea. Terrible idea. And she got me Aqua de Joe. Well, sure enough, it kind of worked. I was still the fat kid, but at least I wasn't the stinky kid. I wasn't the Linus of the group. So thank God for that. I wasn't known as Stinky Boy or Stinky whatever. But a lot of the guys that I actually kind of looked up to, and a lot of my friends, they actually went out and started buying Aqua de Joe. Not saying I was a trendsetter, because Aqua de Joe did that for all of us. I'm pretty sure thousands, hundreds of thousands of people out there, probably even you, owned Aqua de Joe at some time in your life. Moving forward, I got into high school, and of course, I dropped all the fat. I hit puberty, thank God, and still love fragrances. And I remember walking by Abercrombie & Fitch, and I guarantee you're probably going to know exactly what I'm about to say. That's right, I got Abercrombie & Fitch fears, because I was like, wait a second, I want to look like an Abercrombie & Fitch model. What's the best way to do that? Bing! I'm gonna wear Abercrombie & Fitch fragrance. Well, I just smell like an Abercrombie & Fitch model, as I'm sure most of you guys did, but never looked like one. And so now we're here today. I went through tons of fragrances. Givenchy Pour Homme, Dunhill Desire, American Eagle Alive. And let me put this out there. I've kind of been looking for this cologne for quite a while now to add to my collection because I love that fragrance. So if there's anybody out there hopefully watching this, I know this is the first video, so probably not. I'm just going to keep adding it into videos. But if you know where I can get 2 bottles for a great price, because my best friend, he wore it too and loved it, let me know. Hit me up. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and do what every YouTuber does. Hit me a subscribe button, guys. Let's get this fragrance journey going. And hit me a like if you, further into this video, enjoy the content. Because I think we got a really good show today. So, with that being said, now I am here with a very large collection of fragrances. And I just want to put my 2 cents, my unbiased, honest opinion out there. I don't really give into all the hype with all the hyped fragrances that are out there, because Trust me, I've been watching fragrance reviewers for a very long time on YouTube, and I love them all. Studio Scents, Gent Scents, all of them. Fragmental, Mr. Smelly. God, I would love to meet Mr. Smelly one day. Why? That's my kind of man. I mean, he's wearing a suit, loves his fougères, and just loves really good fragrance. And I love his opinions on, well, stupid people, just to be completely honest with you. So, yeah, I decided to start this show. And somewhere where we can all talk about fragrance. So, I blind buy 98% of all of my fragrances, which is a terrible idea, guys. But I'm here to be your blind buy guy. Leave me some comments throughout these episodes and let me know something I should blind buy and something that you might want me to give my 2 cents about, to give my honest opinion. Because the one thing also about fragrances, and we have to understand this, compliments, they're all subjective. My skin's different than your skin and your skin's different than mine. What smells great on me might not smell great on you. So my suggestion to you is, and this will go into more in depth in another video, because I'm going to be posting these videos a lot, because I got a lot to say. In fact, most of my coworkers are like, Brian, why don't you just shut up? Sorry, can't, won't. It's not my style. Anyways, go out and buy a sample, guys. Get a 1 ml, 2 ml sample. Find them on eBay. Go to Decant sites, Decant X, Scent Angel, anywhere that you can buy fragrances. Get a sample first. Because there are a lot of fragrances that I have in my collection. Though I appreciate them, I love them. But I didn't give them enough time. So, let me be your blind buy guy. And a little bit more about my nose, my palate. Look, I'm not like Ash on Gent Scents. That man is brilliant. I do have a really good nose, though. And it all comes from being a professional bartender for, God, more than half my life, which I don't do anymore. And then I sold spirits for a very long time. Spirits, also known as booze, guys. I say spirits and people are like, oh, God, that guy's just a boozy son of a, you know. I told my mom and dad I'd keep this as PG as possible. So, anyways. That's not going to be easy. So, I loved making tinctures and bitters and shrubs and everything that went along with amazing cocktails. And I know alcohol. What's in fragrances? Alcohol. It's scented alcohol water. It's bitters, almost. Just better. Well, depending on what you think. Again, opinions. I love them. So, here we go, guys. Let's get into the whiffs and sniffs of today's episode. I didn't know really what I wanted to talk about. But I did know that I wanted to talk about a fragrance that will never be in my collection. And as you can see, sitting next to me, I made this amazing throne out of some very reputable houses. Well, 1 very reputable house and 2 Banana Republic Classic boxes. It's amazing what you can do when you have, I don't know, a few minutes and some Scotch tape. So I made this throne to talk about the fragrance I'll never own. It comes from the House of Creed. Yes, that's right. The House of Creed. That's my cell phone going off. I sent that picture of this over to a buddy of mine and he probably just texted me back laughing at it. Whatever. So, the House of Creed. It's been around for hundreds of years. They are known for making amazing fragrances. They started out making bespoke fragrances for royalty, for kings, for queens, for celebrities. And then they went to the market. And the masses could start buying their fragrances. And to this day, they still make amazing fragrances. But are they worth the price that you pay for them. Not anymore. I have quite a few Creed fragrances, and I've got 2 more on the way. And those 2 that are on the way, I will do my first impressions of, because I've smelled them before, a few years back, when I was at, I do believe, Nordstrom in Peachtree City, at the Lenox Mall. And I'm not going to tell you what those are, because then I'd ruin the surprise. But guys, I remember when Creed was still expensive, but they weren't sitting at $400 or $500 for a 100 ml bottle. When their projection and sillage and their longevity was incredible. When a man walking through an office, you could smell him when he was 16 cubicles away from you. The fragrance that I'm going to be speaking of today, as we all know, and we like to call the king of fragrance. I wish that I had a scepter and a crown to go along with today's episode, but I thought that would be foolish. So instead, again, I made a throne out of fragrance boxes, which is going to be in a lot of episodes. I've decided. This is my fragrance crown. Blech. Fragrance crown. Can't speak. My fragrance throne. Again, having trouble speaking. And the fragrance that I'm speaking of, I think you already know what I'm going to say, is Creed Aventus. Have I smelled it? Oh, numerous times. Have I smelt clones of it? Absolutely. All of them. In fact, I own quite a few of them. Is it still the king of fragrance? Is it the king of the gentleman, the manly, masculine, sexy scent? Now, we all talk about batch variations and how they just can't seem to pinpoint their scent. How they can't recreate it every time. It's almost like you drive the same car for 10 years and then you go in and you buy the same car with at the same price, maybe more expensive, but no longer does it have all-wheel drive. Now you're stuck with 2-wheel drive. No longer do you have leather seats. You're stuck with cloth. No longer does it even come with flippin' AC. And you just can't stand it anymore. But I bring to the table the new, in my personal opinion, king of fragrance. The Kingslayer, if you will. And it comes from a house that I have fallen so in love with. And this house, I have many fragrances from them. And they're all extract de parfums. Hell, even their extract de cologne is incredible for a cologne fragrance and concentration. The quintessential manly masculine scent that I am talking about, the Kingslayer, the fragrance that just took the atomizer and knocked it right off of the king's head, is no other than Nishane Hacivat. Yes, that's right, guys. Nishane Hacivat. Extrait de parfum. What I love about this fragrance is that it is what Creed Aventus used to be. And in my opinion, better. I love this fragrance so much out of my 200 plus fragrances that every day that I come home, I take the cap off. The crown. It even looks like a crown. Come on. And I take a whiff. Because this is what Creed is supposed to smell like. This is going to get you more compliments, in my opinion, if that's what you strive for. But remember, compliments are very subjective. But I can see women enjoying this more because Aventus, we all know, had that issue. That more men actually enjoyed Aventus than women did. And probably still do. So let's talk some notes real quick. Because this is, to me, not a clone. This is Nishane saying, hey Creed, guess what? We're going to show you how. How to make Creed Aventus. And how to do it properly. And how to make it even more masculine and sexy. And how to last for freaking ever. First of all right. So you're going to get pineapple orange in the top. I'm just going to... Amazing. I mean, look at that atomizer. Look, Creed's got great atomizers. Don't get me wrong. Well, I mean, I think I could just end the show there. But I'm not going to, because I still have more to say. Atomizer. All right, so back to the notes. Sorry, it got me distracted. It distracts me. All right, orange pineapple. No blackcurrant. No apple. This has got oak moss in the heart. And it dries down woody, but that citrus is still there and it's fresh and juicy. It reminds me of literally cutting up a pineapple and letting it spray you right in the face. And that pineapple mixes so well with the earthy undertones and the woodiness that it's hard to say that this isn't the best Creed Aventus out there. This is not a clone. This is what it should be. So, again, this is my personal and unbiased opinion. But I'm going to go ahead and say, in my fragrance kingdom, in the fragrance world that I live in, Creed Aventus has fallen. And Nishane has been crowned the new king of fragrance. And for those of you who wear Creed Aventus, so be it. Enjoy it. I still think it's a great fragrance. But I will never pay the price tag for it. Especially not retail. And even $300 for 100 ml on discounters is still too much. Because I know that it does not last the way my king does. Again, guys, if you love Creed Aventus, I totally understand. Because I as well have an appreciation for Creed Aventus. But I also have the same love-hate relationship most of you do. But Nishane, they nailed it. So all hail the king. And if you don't want to accept this video, that's fine. Do me a favor, leave me a comment below. Why? Because that's the best thing about fragrances, is that everybody's got a different opinion. And what smells good on you might not smell good on me. So again, guys, do yourself a favor. Find out where to get a sample of Nishane Hacivat. Hit me that subscribe button down there. Sorry about that. I had to jump off. My mom was calling me. Hey, Mom. Anyways, hit me that subscribe button down there. Give me one of these if you like the video. If you want, give me one of these if you didn't like the video. Let's talk about it. Throw me some comments. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm posting new content, which is going to be very often. I promise you that. Because I don't care how little sleep I get. I want my opinion to be there, to get out there. I've got a lot inside that just needs to come out, and so it's going to. That's just who I am. And also, go ahead and find me on Facebook. My 2 cents. links down below. It's probably written somewhere around here. I'm probably screwing this all up because I can't see myself. But I'll leave it down here, maybe up here, maybe right here. And also join my Facebook group, guys. My 2 cents Parfum Lobby, where all we do is talk about fragrance. Sounds good, right? I mean, you love it, I love it. Let's love it together. With that being said, guys, that is my episode. All hail the king of fragrance. Until next time, happy scent trails.